What up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. It's windy as hell up here today. I can't do anything about it, all right? A couple of weeks back, I did a video where I went through your most hated vocalists, and that video got a ton more responses from you guys. So I'm back with another part. I've got tons more to go through, so I'm sure that you'll mouth off in the comments for this one as well. So yes, I've compiled another list, another of your 10 most hated vocalists. Let's get right into it. Just a quick interruption. If any of you are wondering what I'm doing in this shithole, then check out the latest video on my brand new channel. Link in description. Back to whatever I was doing in this video. That fucking train's going again. I put that bit in there for all of you just skip to the chapter marks rather than actually watching my videos. How dare you? How dare you? And then all you do is comments like, I can't believe you said, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. You didn't watch. You just skipped to the goddamn I'm getting fucking angry. First one on your list is Billy Corgan, the Smashing Pumpkins, all right? Jesus Christ. Now that I've calmed down, I actually disagree with this one. I get this one. I completely understand why he's on your list. And in a weird way, I'm actually kind of surprised that I don't dislike his vocals. But I don't. For some reason, I don't dislike his vocals. He's a dick. He can definitely be a bit of a dick. But yeah, I actually enjoy the Smashing Pumpkins. Smashing Pumpkins are one of those bands. I only thought about this recently. I might have actually mentioned it on one of these videos. I can't remember. Smashing Pumpkins are actually one of those bands that I actually enjoy far more than I ever realised. I've never considered myself to be a fan, but I was thinking about this recently. Like I said, I might have mentioned it on one of the other videos, I don't know. And I was thinking about it. I can't think of a Smashing Pumpkins song I've heard that I don't enjoy. Do you know what I mean? And Jimmy Chamberlin is one fucking hell of a drummer. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say underrated, but goddamn, he sort of... he definitely brings those songs to life. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I get this one. I understand why people wouldn't like his vocals. I really do. But I kind of don't mind them. It doesn't bother me. He's a dick. I will say that. Is it the Magnificent Others? I think that's his podcast. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, The Magnificent Others. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. I've actually watched a number of those episodes, and he's had some pretty amazing guests on there. As you'd expect, obviously, he has access to you know, those sorts of people. But it's amazing in how many of the interviews it all becomes about him. He'll ask somebody a question about something and he'll just interrupt them and start talking about him. He's one of those people, you know, he strikes me as one of those sorts of people, if you were to tell him one of your troubles, he's immediately had it worse. And you know what I mean? He's definitely a very egotistical, narcissistic son of a bitch, but he's also a bloody good songwriter. So yeah, in terms of the vocals, yeah, I disagree with this one. I actually enjoy them a lot. The next vocalist I'm going to talk about, subscribe to my new channel. The next vocalist that you guys mentioned a ton, Tobias Forge from Ghost. I completely disagree with this one. I do kind of get it, not to the extent of Billy Corgan, but I think a lot of people just see his voice as kind of weak and nasally. I do get it, but I think it suits the music fine. I think he's an incredible songwriter. I have to confess, I'm becoming a bigger and bigger Ghost fan by the day. I've always enjoyed their music, but I've been listening to them a ton this year. And Skeletor, my God, that album is absolutely incredible. I gave it a pretty low score, really, when I reviewed it when it came out a few months back. Man, I've been listening to that album a lot. It's a fucking great album. And overall, I think the Ghost discography is pretty goddamn good. So, yeah, I'm inclined to disagree with this one. I get it, kind of. Not to the extent of Billy Corgan, like I said, but I think it suits the music fine. I really do, and I just don't have an issue with it. But you do. Next vocalist that you guys mentioned, subscribe to my new channel. It's a travel channel below there, so you know, 2 videos out on it now. Blah, 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 blah. King Diamond. Now, I totally get this one. I will say, hang on, if I can turn my bloody phone off. I totally get this one because his vocals put me off for a very long time. I will say that I have actually adapted to them. I have grown to like them. I do like a lot of King Diamond and Merciful Fate. And I get it. It suits the the atmosphere of the music. It suits it really well. But I totally get this one. That high pitched screech. I get it. I completely understand why people don't dig them at all. It's definitely what took me the most to get. King Diamond is one of those guys, obviously a legend. Merciful Fate and King Diamond, incredibly influential in so many scenes in metal. You know, when I was younger, getting into metal, discovering all sorts of different genres, King Diamond was one of those names that kept coming up. You know, as something that needs to be checked out, as in inspirational and. God damn it, I've just gone on, haven't I? Vocals have grown on me. I get it if you don't like them. Simple. I'm moving on. Another vocalist that came up a lot, subscribe to my new channel, it's a travel channel, it's available now. Miles Kennedy. I kind of get this one. I do actually like a lot of Miles Kennedy's voice. I think he's a really cool dude. I think he's a great songwriter. Of course, he's done a lot with Slash and a lot of his solo work. Was it, what's the one, is it Alter Bridge he's in? Is that, I can't remember. With Tremonti, I can't remember. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of Miles Kennedy's voice, but I don't dislike it either. And at the same time, I do kind of get why so many people picked it. But yeah, I think he's a solid vocalist, and that's all I've got for this bit. Next vocalist that you guys picked, no joking on this one, it's Ian Watkins from Lost Prophets. Goes without saying. Horrific human being. Genuinely, I was never a fan of this band to begin with. They always had that kind of I don't know, I always associate them with the cool kids kind of thing. It's kind of, it's that's not what metal is for me. Metal for me is about the disenfranchised and the rejects. Although, he fucking should be. Never did much for me, but yeah, I've given this guy way too much airtime as it is. Fuck him. Piece of shit. Goes without saying. Not just a terrible vocalist, they're absolutely insanely shit human being. Fuck off. Next vocalist that you guys voted for before going to check out my new channel, Will Ramos from Lorna Shore. I get this one. I'm not bothered about it. I mean, deathcore is definitely one of those genres that I struggle with a little. You've probably heard me mention this podcast a ton on this channel, but Hardlaw. It's Bo Luders from Harm's Way and Colin Young from God's Hate and Twitching Tongues. They got a fantastic podcast, and they actually mentioned deathcore, and Colin actually described it as, I think he said it's deathcore's a weird one because it kind of features the worst aspects of each genre. You know what I mean? It neither is nor isn't the genres it represents. It's something like that, and that actually did sum it up quite well to me. I don't hate deathcore. It's just not one of the genres that I've really got into. Having said that, the Neanderthal in me does kind of dig Slaughter to Prevail. So, you know what I mean? I'm sure there's a lot of people who will have issue with that. That's definitely one of the albums I will be reviewing when it comes out, because I'll just be interested to hear what people have to say about that one. The Neanderthal caveman in me gets it. Anyway, this is supposed to be about Will Ramos. I do kind of get this one. He's clearly a talented vocalist in his own right. Well, having said that, I don't dislike Lorna Shore at all. They've done some pretty cool stuff. He seems a bit too well adjusted for me. I think that says probably more about me than it does about him. So yeah, I mean, I get this one. I get it. I don't care either way, to be honest with you. I don't mind some of Lorna Shore's music, and I don't really have an issue with his vocals, but Yeah, it does. This one doesn't bother me at all. Either way. Next up, before we go check out my new channel, this is getting old now, even I'm bored of it. Brian Johnson. I love AC/DC. I really do. And yes, you know, I definitely prefer the Bon Scott era. I mean, Back in Black is a classic for a reason. Sometimes albums are huge because they're fucking good. You know, there's also a lot of other stuff, you know, and I mean, Thunderstruck, come on, that's a fucking great song. They've done some bangers without question, and his vocals definitely fit that style of music for sure. But I get it. I can understand how some people listening to this be just like, no, I ain't digging this one at all. But yeah, I do consider myself to be an AC/DC fan. I don't necessarily go out my way to listen to them, if you know what I mean, but when they come on, I'm fine with it. I got no issue with it. I kind of dig the fact, in a way, that they're what, they must be in their 70s, maybe even 80s, mustn't they? Jesus Christ. And they're still just doing what the fuck they want. And they've never really catered to anybody. They just stuck to their fucking thing and gone for it, you know. I kind of dig that. I know there was some recent footage of them playing live, and there was a lot of people saying, man, these guys need to retire, but it can be really deceptive when you're hearing a lot of that footage, when you're hearing a lot of that stuff from an iPhone in a particularly, you know, bad part of the arena or whatever, you know what I mean? I think it ended up sounding a lot worse than it actually was, because there seemed to be a lot of people who were there at the night saying, no, it sounded fucking great. But anyway, I digress. AC/DC, fucking legendary band. I dig them. Next vocalist, new channel, check it out, blah, 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 blah. Rob Halford, Judas Priest. This is actually one that a couple of years ago I would have completely agreed with. Much like King Diamond, definitely I used to find these vocals quite off-putting. I started getting into metal in the early 90s, and one of my favourite bands, hand down, at that time was Pantera. And a big part of that was the gruffer vocal style. I've always preferred that much more to the higher pitch stuff, and I just could not get into Judas Priest at all. I remember listening to it and just like, no, it just does nothing for me. However, I have grown into quite the fan over the years. Not until 2017, maybe it was 2018, whenever Firepower came out. Firepower was the first album of theirs that I really sat down and properly listened to and really gave it some proper attention. I fucking loved that album. And was it last year? I think Invincible Shield. I think it was last year's album, wasn't it? That's a cracker as well. I've spoken about it a few times on this channel, actually. Just an older band having a blast, doing what they do and not giving a fuck. And I think that kind of, that fresh feel, that real energetic energy that they were putting out, I kind of really responded to it and went back and listened to a lot of their stuff. Of course, not all of it's great, but I mean, Jesus Christ, Painkiller, I mean, that's about as metal as it gets. So on the one hand, I completely get this. I completely understand why people were put off by it, but I have really grown to appreciate it, and because of that, it's actually allowed me to listen to a lot more, you know, metal that I previously dismissed, and that's always a good thing. Anything that kind of acts as a gateway to get you into a even more fantastic music is always a good thing, in my opinion. So completely get it, but I'm a fan. Following in the same vein, the next vocalist that you check, new channel, Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden. I completely disagree with this. For some reason, I got into Bruce Dickinson's voice decades ago. Well, I kind of do know. A friend of mine who passed away, I was in 2019. we lived together, me and another friend. There were three of us just being these drunken fucking dipshits, and he played Maiden all the time, and I've got so many damn happy memories associated with that band, just laughing and being drunk and fucked up and just listening to Maiden. So yeah, despite what I was saying about Rob Halford and the higher vocals, I really dug Maiden kind of, you know, pretty early on, I guess, really, and I've never had an issue with Maiden. I love Maiden, I love Bruce Dickinson's voice, Obviously, it's not as powerful now as it used to be. And, you know, another guy who can be a bit of a dick at times, but yeah, I've got no issues with the vocals. But once again, I do understand why people do. I suppose when I did first listen to Maiden, when I was getting back into metal back in the early 90s, I did struggle with it then. Not to the degree that I did with Rob Halford, but it was definitely like, I'm not sure this is for me. But yeah, I love Maiden. Said that. I think you've got the point. And the final vocalists that you picked, or at least that is going on this video, there were many more, so I could easily do another part. I have no doubt that there'll be more that you guys mentioned in this video, and go and check out my new channel. It's M Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold. I am inclined to agree with this one. I actually think Avenged Sevenfold have done some really interesting music over the years. They've got, you know, some of their songs I'm kind of like, I do dig this. I can understand why the band got big, but I do struggle with his vocals. I have that kind of nasally twang to them. Not bad songwriters at all. They're kind of one of those bands that I would like to like. You know, I could see me getting into them, but yeah, the vocals has kind of been a bit of a barrier for me. So this one I really do. I get this one. I don't think they're a bad band though, at all. I'm not a hater by any means, but yeah, I'm inclined to agree with M Shadows, unfortunately. So there you go, another 10 vocalists that you guys picked, and I have no doubt there'll be more. Seriously, if you guys are interested in my new channel, I'd be very grateful if you could help me get to 1,000 subscribers as quickly as possible. The channel has got off to a really good start, so I'm very happy with that, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be just something for me to try different things and hopefully expand my travel palette. It's an excuse for me to be able to do different styles of videos, and I kind of enjoy that. It keeps things fresh for me. It won't stop me doing anything on this channel. You're still going to get this rambling bullshit from yours truly. I can guarantee you that. Windy. Oh, I've got to go for a run now. I can't be bothered. It's not the attitude, is it?